it's very important that you realize what's happening right now before you see events unfold tomorrow. We have oil refineries burning in or being attacked in Iran, Israel, even a fire that just broke out in Texas. We have protests around the nation of people that are angry, and some of them don't understand, or most of them, that there are certain groups being paid to do this. We have markets that are melting down, and all it spells is opportunity. I want to tell you about a story of something that just happened, and it's important for you to understand this because I didn't take advantage of an opportunity that happened just the other day. I received a phone call, or I got some information of the exact time that Israel would strike Iran. The exact time. I was driving down a highway talking to a gentleman that hangs out with and does work with very important people that are in the know. And I said, well, okay, the markets are going to tank tomorrow, which they did. Not too bad, but they went down. Um, this is the start of something big, another cycle. And I called a buddy the next morning, see how he was doing, a very successful trader. And he traded on that information ahead of time and bought futures in oil for 3 cents, calls on futures, 3 cents, and sold them for $1 within 24 hours. Think about that kind of rate of return. What is that, 35x or something like that? Um, oh, I'm sorry, not 30. Yeah, it's just some insane amount, right? It's important that we understand that there's always something coming tomorrow or next week or next month, but how do you take advantage of it? Oh, and I want to remind everybody the AI stock trader course, if you want to learn how to use artificial intelligence to buy and sell stocks and investments in a way that you've never understood before, how powerful it is, the sale ends tomorrow. Okay, links down below to that. Um, right now, we've got these protests happening around the country, and just these start as protests. Really, there is a group of people that want them to turn into riots because they want lawlessness in our country, because they want to destabilize our country and put our country into a state of fear. What you should not fear is what's happening right now. You should be anticipating the next move, and I want you to learn how to make money from it. And there are a lot of people that may say, Ninja, that's the wrong way of talking. This is not something you should be, bringing up. There's worse things going on right now. But you see, the people that run our country, and sorry, there's dogs running around everywhere. They're hitting the table. There's stand by real quick. Let me do something real quick here. You guys are just running around the table right now, aren't you? You're just gonna knock down the camera. Dogs. How many of you are dog people? Type dog if you're a dog person. Type cat if you're a cat person. I personally am a dog person. They're always happy to see you and they don't scratch you. The thing is there are a lot of people that say, hey, it's not important to care about. I see, I got a lot of dog people in here. I know Neil's a cat person. Neil's, and a bird person. A lot of people would say, Ninja, this isn't the time to think about money. Our country's melting down. Well, you see, the people with money are paying to destroy our country. And that is why it is extremely important that we do everything we can to get as rich as possible. And I'm sure there's going to be one or two religious people that say, well, this is, the root of all evil, loving money. I don't love money. I use it as a tool, like I use a hammer when I want to bash something or strike a nail and build something. And the thing that we need to do right now is focus on the fact that he who has the gold makes the rules, right? We've all heard that. And in the last 4 years, a lot of you have invested in gold, and you have invested in silver, and you have invested in Bitcoin, and you have seen amazing profits. And those profits are going to continue to rise. as we enter quite possibly World War III. And World War III doesn't happen like you remember World War I and II in the movies. Those were the climaxes. The movies were made about the climax times of the war, even though they lasted for long periods of time. You have to remember that there was a buildup to those times. And that's where we are right now. So we need to become not only self-sustaining, there's a lot of preppers out there that are self-sustaining. That's only one bit. We need to become and be able to be so successful that we can help other people. And in doing so, we're going to help ourselves as well. And that's the message of this channel. In the last 2 weeks, the channel has seen another boost in subscribers. Thank you to everyone that have subscribed lately. And I just ran into a handful of my friends that I haven't seen for a long time. You know what they brought up? Pennies. Like, hey, we got our pennies. And it's interesting to me that after those penny videos, they found so much success. You want to know why? Because it is a great example of something very easy and small that every single person can do to not only change the value of their balance sheet, albeit it's not the biggest change, right? But you could do it easily, fast, and everyone has the ability to do it. And what I want so badly for you, every single one of you, thank you, Brian, for the super chat. Every single one of you, I want you to go from pennies to dollars to millions of dollars. But it always starts somewhere. And for me, it did start with pennies. And then I built it up. For me, it started in a garage sale, and I built it up. And then eventually, through 22 side hustles and being a full-time firefighter for 26 years, it began turning into teaching other people. I want this for you so desperately. My goal is that you become so successful that you're not only blowing your own mind, you're changing the lives of others. You see, I can only do so much on this channel. But if all of you jump in and you start getting out of debt, you raise the bar. I'm going to tell you right now, I've said this many times, but just the other day I got into two new businesses with two very successful subscribers. Very wealthy, very knowledgeable, successful subscribers. And I tell you this all the time to encourage you, because what happens is, thank you so much, Disc, for the super chat. What is important is that to know that very successful people, they watch a funny, silly channel like this because they resonate with the truth. And the reason why I did things on a lower level, using cardboard notes, tricycles, and all this kind of stuff, was to attract the attention of people that normally would not watch a motivational or financial channel. It was just something different. I wanted to resonate with you, because even my closest friends say they'll watch the channel and I'm still the same person. A friend last night told me she was very glad that all of this hadn't gone to my head. A little bit of it had. But my point being is that I wanted to change people's lives. And the only way I can change 1 million people's lives is if you do something with the warnings and the words that I'm telling you. A lot of times I've used clickbait titles like "You've got 48 hours," right? Well, you do, because in 48 hours, this event happens and you can choose to make money or not. Truth is, if I would have put just $1,000 on 3-cent call options on futures on oil that day, let's see, what would $1,000 turned into? Turned into $35,000 or something like that the next day. If I would have put 100,000 into it, it would have been 100,000 times 35. It's pretty easy math. I have done some of these moves before. My greatest return is an 82 times, I believe it was, on Populous, and I sold it. These kind of things happen, but they happen only when you do something with the information you're given. Like I've said, I've done videos where you've got 90 days till it happens. Yeah, because from that date, 90 days in the future is July 6th, and then all of this slew of information from Wall Street is going to come out telling you how bad all these banks took a hit during this last market correction, 10th largest in the history of the stock market. And in the beginning of July, that's going to be hit with nationwide protests, riots. There's probably going to be bloodshed in our country. A war between Iran and Israel. This is so serious. Thank you, Billy, for the super chat. This is so serious because you have an opportunity to act. Like I say with the AI courses and all these courses on, and look, you could get all this information for free. The only question is, how fast do you want information? How fast are you willing to take action? And then third, how, when you do those two things, how fast are you going to change your own life because of the action that you took? You know, my company has been growing in spades because it's blessed by God, but because a lot of you have taken it upon yourself to invest in your own financial future. And that financial future isn't through college, a system that's been built to create slaves, a slave class of middle class people that think they're ahead, but they're really not. They're just in debt to their eyeballs and they're poor. Um, I was talking to a billionaire the other day, and he told me, he goes, Travis, you think about it, you put yourself in a position where you own everything you've got. If everything collapses around you tomorrow, you're good. I'm like, I know. And he goes, because I was having a little bit of a rough day, and he was there to encourage me. And the one thing I want to encourage you today with is stretch for that next level of human being to be around that will help stretch you, but you have to do something in return for them. Um, and that's how the world works. Nothing good is free. Nothing good is free. And this summer is going to be a summer of chaos. And that's not doom or gloom. This is really happening. I'm looking at photos of anti-Trump parades and all this stuff that are actually being led by complete fools. They're morons. They're people that don't understand the truth. I'm going to be honest with you. Type 1 if you want to see ICE and the government expel, arrest felons that are here illegally and they're hurting our country because they're hurting our people. They're robbing us. Type 1 if you want to see more people be kicked out of our country that are not here legally. When I go to Mexico, I can't get off a plane, or none of us can get off a plane unless we fill out immigration forms. I just went to England the other day, and I had to actually pay a fee just to be there for 5 days. I had to pay like $25 for me and $25 for my wife. They're making money from us just coming and visiting. If I wanted to work there, I'd need to fill out a visa form. So I just start typing one like you can't believe. Piss off the algorithm. Because you want to know the truth? These algorithms are built because they don't want you to hear the truth. They want to push their narrative because they want a slave class of employees. Now, the truth is, only 1 out of 10 people watching these videos will ever take my advice and go race out and be successful. The question is, are you one of the 10? Are you one of the 10 that is willing to start a side hustle on the weekends and break out of, I had 22 side hustles, and I just walked away from being a fireman. And I kept that full-time job as a security blanket until I had so much money set aside that I'm like, I'm good. To the point where I'm like, the tax savings of Lee in California is more than any check until the day I die from my retirement. That's no joke. That's really what I did. I want that for you. But the question is, and do me a favor, type 10 if you're that one person that's willing to take the challenge and break out of that slave system, whether it be through the type of investments you make or starting a business. Type 10 if you're like, dude, I'm that person. I am that person. I'm ready for this. Then go and do it. And go be greater than me. Go be bigger than me. Go be louder than me. Go start a business that sells more than me. That's what I want. I want competition. Because then, quite frankly, I'm going to crush you. No, I joke. I say that with all my friends. Because I love competition. Competition is what made our country great. Free markets are what make our economy great. The only question is, are you ready and willing to be great? Don't look at your spouse. Don't look at your parents. Don't ask your friends. It's you. If you want to invest in stocks and you want an upper hand, an unfair advantage, and you want to learn how to use AI way more than like you'd use Google, hey, give me a good entry point or an exit point for a stock. That course, the AI Stock Trader Pro, is incredible. Go check it out. Dylan really knocked it out of the ballpark, and I think it's on sale for $199. And then the price is going up tomorrow. All right, with that being said, the Economic Ninja is out.